We have four feral cats that own our property. They own it. We just live here and we're able to, provide them with food every once in a while. Actually, it's every day. We give them food every day. Um, it is a savage life here in Ecuador for street dogs and feral cats. It is savage. It is an absolutely savage life. We had two dogs that figured out how to get over our wall and into our property, and they would come in and they would sleep here overnight. And it was actually really nice because they're another form of security. They wouldn't let anybody else in, and they never gave me a problem. They never gave my wife a problem. They knew that we were the dueños, that we're the owners. We don't bother them; they don't bother us. So, and they saw that we wouldn't hurt them. So they just disappeared. They disappeared one day, didn't come back. Haven't seen them on the street. Sad. More than likely, they got poisoned. So, um, but the four cats that own our property, there is Blackie, Bandita, Bandito. So boy and girl, Bandita, Bandito. They're just brother and sister, I think. But and Zora. She looks like Zorro, but we call her Zora. So 'cause she's a girl. So Bandita has been pregnant. I don't know how many times, like a lot of times. And every time before, because they're feral cats. They don't completely trust us. Every time before, she's gone off somewhere else to have her kittens, and and we never see them. We never see the kittens, and she does not spend a lot of time away. So to us, that says either her kittens got killed, which we have seen happen with the street dogs. If they find where a cat's keeping her kittens, they they eat them. So, um, but it's this time she decided to have them right on our sidewalk outside of our kitchen door. So. Uh, this might be hard for some people to hear, but like I said, it's kind of savage here. Um, and I grew up on a farm, and stuff happens. Life is messy. Life is messy. Her first baby was born dead, and then we thought she might not even have any more. But we got up the next morning and we heard at top of in our lavanderia, in our patio where we have our laundry, we also have a little bodega, which is like a little shack, and on top of the shack is a flat roof, and she was in a box on the flat roof with two babies, and they were both alive, and she was feeding them. Awesome, awesome. But we also know that, like I said, she's not very good at being a mom, so we're going to try to capture her when we can and get her spayed so she doesn't have to go through this again, because it's really horrible. Um, I got rid of the one that was born dead. And then yesterday, she left them for too long. She left them for too long. She wouldn't go back up there to feed them. There's really nothing I could do. And one of them was very weak. And it died. It died. It just passed away. It couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the stress. So I took care of that one too. But this last one is so strong and so loud and just tough as can be. Like I had to grab it, and because when we finally found out where she was, we put a blanket in there, and I had to grab this little kitten, and it was pushing at me, and when I put it down, it was crawling around. I mean, that's impressive for a newborn. That is impressive. I'm like, you might survive even with a bad mama. I mean, ugh, I'm trying to say that she's a good mama or a bad mama. She is what she is. Um, Probably her mama was the same way. I mean, it's not a high survival rate here yet. There are a lot of cats. Um, so this morning I get up and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to hear that cry anymore. I mean, it's right outside of our kitchen window. She's right there. Um, But as soon as I open that kitchen window, I hear the oh, wow, wow. And just that tiny little voice. She is yelling for her mama, and then it stops. And I'm like, oh, that's it. That was her last cry, you know? So I went out to get our bike out of the patio because I take my wife to church on Sunday mornings. And wow, her mom was up there feeding her. And I was like, awesome. And you know what? I do not get involved. I'm not a cat person. I don't get involved with cats. I don't get involved with any of this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, I can't help it. I hate wasted life, right? I hate the waste of life. And somehow I hate it worse in innocent animals than I do in people. That's horrible to say, but it's true. And I think a lot of people are like that too, right? Like you see on the news, you know, so 50 people got blown up by a bomb. But you see one person mistreating a dog and you're like, what was that? Who did that? Did they get him? You know. Life is weird, man. But down here, it is not just savage for animals. It is cheap. Life is cheap here for them. Meaning, nobody cares. Nobody cares if, 10 cats die. Nobody cares if 2 dogs disappear. Nobody cares. And very often, I tried to, the one dog I really liked a lot. And I was like, if this dog, I named him Butch, because he had like this hammer of a head, like this big jowls of, he looked like a giant pit bull. And I was like, that's the kind of dog I want here. So I tried to feed him. I fed him some dog treats. And he looked at me, and they all these dogs, they all look the same because they've all interbred over and over again. But the dogs in our area, they all look the same. They are yellow dogs with yellow eyes, which is really cool looking. So they had these yellow eyes, and he's just looking at me with these yellow eyes, and I throw him the food, and he goes over and smells it, and he decides that, no, he ain't going to do it. Now, these dogs they never refuse food. He refused food because of where it came from, because he didn't know me. And that's why he lived as long as he did. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe somebody took him in, made him their pet. That happens, it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. Usually, it's because they're dead, and they die in all sorts of ways. People poison them. People do other things to them. People take them and fight them. Yeah, they don't do that with cats, but they do that with dogs. Yeah. But well, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that story because I can hear her right now. I can hear her crying right now, and I just saw her mother. She just ran across our sidewalk, and she's running back to feed her. So she's doing her job. How long will that happen? I don't know. Will that continue? Will she always feed the cat? I don't know. Can I save it? No. It's up to her to save it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to balance between, am I a cat rescue or what? Well, I'll show you this. I'm not a cat rescue, but look at her. She's so cute. Oh my God. This is Hermione. This is Hermione. Yeah, this is Hermione. This is Hermione. Say hello, Hermione. Hermione likes boiled eggs, by the way. And this is, who is this? This is Ronald Weasley. Ronald Weasley, who we pulled in and made him the little tiny guy. He was just a little tiny guy. He was as small as Hermione was. And now look at him. He's huge. He's huge. He's a good boy. He's laying on my lap. He's never done that before. Never done that before. All right. I'll talk to you later.